Welcome back to Bill's Bets and Beers. I'm the host, Chad. If you're new to the channel, this is a channel where I talk about Bills football, NFL in general, go up through some parlays for my Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night football games, as well as I put some random ones for the other normal Sunday games. And then I do occasional tasting and rating of a tasty brew. Today, we're going to be doing a tasting. But that's going to be at the end, so stay tuned if you're interested. Let's get into this video. I'm going to be covering all the Thanksgiving game parlays that I put in. As you know, there's 3 games: the early, afternoon, and late night. So let's start off with some NFL news first. First off, we have, funny, but the Jets actually benched Zach Wilson for, maybe it was his play last week, maybe it was his comments that his teammates didn't like. I mean, if I was on the defense, I definitely would not enjoy the quarterback who couldn't help the offense score more than 3 points to win a game and then say it wasn't his fault. But neither here nor there. We're not Jets fans, so that's a good thing. And if you are a Jets fan, I am sorry. You may be getting towards possibly having to get another quarterback. But it is early, so who knows? We might need to give him some room to breathe. Then we have the Rams. They dropped running back Henderson out, and it's not really that surprising. My brother had him in fantasy, and he has been doing nothing as of late this year. Definitely weird. I think it's probably the system is in. He might be in, but I mean, he had some running attempts. He wasn't doing much with it over there, so can't really. I don't know. He wasn't doing much of anything, so I don't blame them for dropping him. And I'm glad the Bills wouldn't even think about picking him up at this point. We have our backs, and we haven't even started using Hines yet, so we don't even know what we have back there fully. And next up, Carolina Panthers are actually starting Sam Darnold this weekend. Shocking over Mayfield. I mean, they made a big trade for Mayfield, and then they're not going to use him. So definitely interesting. So that's something to look into. Are they trying to, I don't know, tank even more now to get the number 1 pick because the Rams are pretty low as well? I mean, who knows? At this point, no one can tell. I'm just speculating because I don't know anything. But it just seems really weird. Next up, you have the O-line coach. The O-line coach for the Cardinals was fired prior to the Monday Night Football game, apparently, due to an incident that happened in Mexico City. I'm guessing he bought something he shouldn't have. That's probably illegal in the States to buy, and got caught doing it. So I'm just gonna say they did what they had to do at that point. The name of the coach was Sean Kugler. He was like the O-line coach and running back, whatever, not coach, but like design runner or something. He did some stuff with the plays and stuff, but it's just odd that it's funny, not funny, but it's just funny that you have a game down in Mexico City now, and then that happens. I don't know. Next up, we have Chase Edmonds was placed on IR. Is this like a bad part of that bad? Was it a bad trade that they made with the Dolphins to get rid of a pass rusher? I mean, did they think they were going to get something out of Edmonds? I mean, like I said before, these are all speculations. But it definitely seems not great. I mean, was he hurt before he went over there or not doing that well? Who knows? It's a very touchy situation. Lastly, I have Chargers. The Chargers kicker, Dustin Hopkins. He is now on IR. I mean, he hasn't played the past 2 weeks at this point. I mean, 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, why wouldn't they put him on there before? I mean, maybe they thought he was going to get better because he did have a limited practice, or I think it was a limited or full practice day before the last game, and he didn't play that game either. So, I mean, they brought up their practice squad kicker Cameron Dicker, which is kind of funny. He's on the active roster now, but Dicker the kicker. I mean, that's that you can't break that name. But definitely meant for kicking. Anyways, let's get into these parlays. Like I said, we have 3 of them. They're all 5 legs, pretty short, but there are some not surprises. They're just more towards the risky for the extra cash in a sense, but they're all pretty reasonable in a sense. First off, we have the Bills versus Lions same game parlay. I have Dawson Knox for an anytime touchdown. I just think he's gonna get some targets. Everyone's gonna be able to get open. I think against this defense, but I think they're still gonna try to blanket Stephon Diggs in a sense, and I think the middle of the field should be open enough for Dawson to get a catch. Next up, we have Devin Singletary over 90 rushing yards. That wasn't the under-over like the line that they had for him. I chose alternate rushing yards for Devin Singletary. I basically picked one of the highest ones because I think Devin Singletary is going to get enough yards. Like I said, this defense isn't the greatest. They're actually one of the worst. They let the people score the most points to get them, most yards, everything like that. So we shouldn't be, with our offense, we should be able to do what we want to do. So I think we're still going to get yards. We're still going to get yards, touchdown points on both rushing and on the wide receiver at this point, at that level. But yeah, 90 is a lot for Devin. That'd probably be his best throughout the whole year. But I think it's going to be against a defense like this that he gets it on. Next up, I have Gabe Davis, 60-plus receiving yards. Like I said, I think Davis is going to start getting into his own again, and I think they're going to try to blanket Stephon Diggs what they can. Obviously, they don't have as great of someone just to cover him one-on-one. I mean, especially if their number one corner's out, which he might be. So definitely look into that. But if they're just going to blanket Stephon Diggs, it's going to open up everyone else, and even Diggs is going to be able to get open as well. But I still see Davis getting at least 60 yards. He's probably going to get 6 to 7 catches and have a pretty good night. Next up, I have Allen, over 275 and a half passing yards. I think Allen's probably going to get more towards 315-ish, but that if we're even going to need it, I think we're going to still be playing a game up until late third quarter, so it's not like it's going to be a quick half an hour or quick lip in the third quarter now. I think we're going to definitely be going into the fourth quarter-ish of still having him have to play, so we're going to have time for him to get those yards. Then I put a Jamal Williams anytime touchdown on this. Jamal Williams is one of their best weapons at this point. They do have a good wide receiver over there, St. Brown, but I still see Jamal Williams just at least getting in the end zone once. I mean, he's their main source of offense, one of the main sources, and he's going to be getting targets in the receiving and also running. So if our run game sticks up, that'd be great. But it's not like we're going to just slow the offense down to absolutely nothing. They have a good offense, or at least top 5, top 10, a top 10 offense. So we can't just stop them completely. But we're gonna still win the game by plenty, in my opinion. Overall odds were 9-4-63, and so that turns my $2 into not 191. Pretty good odds, and like I said, it's only a 5-leg parlay, and it's because I picked a lot of the what are they called? Not the over unders they give on passing rushing. I chose the alternates. Definitely look into that if there's options. Alternates give you a lot more cash and odds when you pick them. Next up, coming up is going to be the Giants versus Cowboys same game parlay. They have the 4 o'clock game tomorrow, and I'm going to start it off with a bang. I put Ezekiel Elliott over 69.5 rushing yards. So I just see this Cowboys team with how the Giants are so hurt right now. Elliott's definitely going to go off at least a little bit in the run on them. 70 yards isn't much for him to get on the ground, and I know he just came back last week. I think he's going to just kind of just keep the elevator going at this point. Just keeping all the motion going forward. He's going to get a little bit better every week. So I think he's going to get at least 70 yards this week. Next up, I got CeeDee Lamb, over 99.5 receiving yards. Yes, I'm putting a lot of yards based into this like Cowboys Giants game, and more towards the Cowboys side on the offense. It's just with all the injuries on the Giants front. Yes, I could put Barkley in here and get his yards in there and all this stuff like that, but they did stop. I mean, the Vikings weren't a fraudulent team, so they did stop them enough. So you got to look at that. So I mean, especially with all the injuries that are currently going on with the Giants, you can't really trust too many of the bets on that side. That's why I'm staying more towards the Giants at this level. But next up, I also put Noah Brown for over 49.5 receiving yards. He seems like he's been getting more involved as of late, and surprisingly, if you look at all the weeks, he's been getting at least from like 2 to 5 catches for around 50-something yards, hitting over towards 60-something, 70 on some weeks. So definitely something that I looked at and said, you know what, I'm going to choose the over in that. Because they're just injured, and I think they're just going to throw to him, because once CeeDee Lamb starts getting enough balls, they're probably going to try to blanket as much as they can on that side with the safeties, and then he's going to be open. So, good little yin-yang for them. No, sorry about that. Next up, I got Tony Pollard for over 44.5 receiving yards. He killed it last week with over 100 plus receiving yards. So I see him getting around 44.5. He's probably going to break one, like a big reception off for probably 20, 30 yards, and then probably just get a couple here throughout the game. And then I also put in a Tony Pollard anytime touchdown. So overall odds in this is actually pretty wild. It's plus 30,000. 30,000 turns my $1 into $301. So definitely huge for me. And if you follow it like that bet, you can put $5 and make some good money. I really wish I could have put more money on it, but like I said, all these are just for fun. I don't really put more than like $1 or $2 on these, unless I'm going for the no sweat bets. Next up, last and final parlay, I have Vikings versus Patriots. Definitely an interesting matchup for the last game of Thanksgiving. I mean, everything's panning out to be a good game so far, so that's a good thing. I put in Dalvin Cook anytime touchdown. He hasn't been hitting the end zone as of late, but I think it's about time for him to hit the end zone again. When he does hit the end zone, he usually gets like 1 to 2 touchdowns a game, per game. So I think he might get towards 2, but I went safe and said 1. But I wouldn't be surprised if he got 2 this game. Then I put Dalvin Cook over 99.5 rushing yards. I just think against this Patriots defense that he's going to be able to thrive enough to get that. Next up, I have Ramondre Stevenson over 84.5 rushing yards. I just see a lot of rushing going on in this game because that's the type of battle I think we're gonna get from them, and that's really the source of yards for this Patriots offense at this point. Yes, and that will open up passing for Mac Jones if they get it going like I think they are. I still think the game's gonna go in towards the Vikings' favor, but here nor there, it's going to be a very interesting game. Depends what Kirk Cousins shows up, to be honest. It is a primetime game, so everyone knows what that means. Hopefully he changes it around, though. This it's a shame to see the season sink down for them that much. But anyways, I also have Hunter Henry for over 29.5 receiving yards. I think with Ramondre Stevenson running well enough, Hunter Henry's going to be getting open over the middle. He's been getting a lot of catches and receptions as of late, so I just see that going to be something that he's going to be one of the main receivers that Mac Jones will be focusing on. And my last one of this parlay is T.J. Hockenson, the tight end for the Vikings, getting over 59.5 receiving yards. When Dalvin Cook is going to be running this well, yes, Justin Jefferson's going to get his, but I think if they focus enough, because they do have, it's going to be a good matchup, with Justin Jefferson going against Diggs, the cornerback over there. It's going to be very, very interesting how that pans out. I don't think he's going to lock him down for the game. I mean, not Diggs, Jesus. I know I'm off. It's the other, there's that rookie cornerback over there for the Patriots. He's very good. He's been playing very well. And I think they're going to try to not trust him against them, but maybe give him a little bit of help as well. And that should slow them down on that side. Or bracket Jefferson and then put the better cornerback against Thielen. And then that middle zone is going to be open enough. And I think Hawkinson's going to make up for it and be able to get those yards. That's what I personally think is going to happen. But yeah, overall odds on this one were plus 16,000. And so that turns my $1 I put on it into 161. So, not crazy. I mean, 99 rushing yards is pretty high for Dalvin Cook, I'd say. But, side note, I think he's going to be able to hit that. I mean, he's had games where he's gotten way more than that. All they have to do is just give him the ball, and he has to be able to hit those slow slots. And yeah, the defense has been doing pretty well for the Patriots, but one of the things they lacked on in the beginning was rush defense. So something to look out for. Next up, I have the tasting and rating of this tasty brew. I've been drinking a little bit. It's pretty good. I love the color. It's more of an amber because it's barrel aged. You get that nice bourbon flavor off it as well. And there was no cans of it. It was a local brew for where I work, so had to get it in this size. Twisted Rail Brewing Company. They're out of Geneva, and it's a barrel-aged Spike Driver IPA. It's only 6.9%, but the barrel-aged gives it a nice, smokiest taste to it, and it's actually very good. The other one I tried there, which was a 10% one, as barrel aged, God, that thing just smacked you in the face. It tastes like you were drinking a water-ish downed, slightly watered down bourbon. Very strong in the aged barrel. Because I think the aged was 12 years, 10 years. But definitely very, very good company. And if you have a chance to go to the Geneva and check out the actual, what's it called? And check out where they make the beer and whatnot out there. The tap house is in a nice area. It's an old movie theater, and it's beautiful in there. You check it out. It's a very unique spot to have a tap house. But definitely check it out if you get a chance. Like I said, Geneva, New York. It's very good beer. I'd rate this taste-wise, at least an 8.2. It's really high up there. Definitely the bourbon, the bourbon barrel gives it a good taste. Color, love the darker color to it. It's a nice amber-ish look, and like I said, I love the amber look because just gives it a little bit different. It's not really full amber, but it's very nice. Um, so color, I give it like a 8.9. I like it. Drinkability, it goes down very smooth for being barrel aged. Um, it just fills your mouth with like that smoky taste, and then it still goes down so smooth of an IPA. Like I was very shocked, but then again, this is like not from a can. They actually take it from a tap, so that might help in that matter. Because in a can, it tastes a little bit different sometimes. But drinkability, I give it like a 8. Bingeability, I could see myself drinking at least 5 or 6 of these if I wanted to. So I'd give it a nice, like a 7.5, because it's just that taste is very good on it. And design, obviously, I didn't see the actual can, but I mean when they go twisted rail and you got the little rail pins on it on the growler, you can't really pretty basic ish, but it's a nice basic. I feel like it's very nice. It's true to the name. It's just twist rail. They put the rail pins on it. But that's gonna be so the design. I'd probably give it like a 6.2, just because it's not the greatest, but it's above average for its average looking just label at that point. Um, Next up, we have I'm gonna have some upcoming videos. I got Bills versus Lions post game reaction. I'll be dropping that Friday or Thursday night, depending when I get the chance to make it. Do have family. I do have 2 kids and a wife, and remember my mom's for Thanksgiving, so I can't just make a video right after. Um, Also doing a Sunday night football and Sunday game preview and parlays. So look forward to that. I'll be dropping that probably Saturday morning, so you have time to look at them. And then Monday night football preview and same game parlay. I'll be dropping that on Saturday or Sunday. And then obviously going forward, gonna be doing a Bills versus I think it's Patriots next, or yeah, it's another Thursday night game. So I might be killing 2 birds, 1 stone there by putting parlays in and stuff for that. So I might do the preview for it and then do the parlay stuff later, because it makes sense. I mean, then I got my sponsors, of course. Can't forget those. I got my wife. Check out her Instagram. It's Crochet with Elisha. It's her not a company, but her side business that she does. She does a lot of like hats, scarves, mittens, gloves, anything you could think of for kids, adults, infants, anything. She can make stuff for them for winter, especially. She does nice cardigans for the spring, blankets for the winter too. Blankets for like anything you could think of. Dolls, like coasters for your house, anything like that. Even beer koozies, whatever you think of, she's made. Just check it out. If you see something you like, she can say, "Hey, can I have that in this color?" Or just like say, "Hey, I'd like this," and show her what you'd like and say what color, and then she'll give you an idea what it might cost. Um, then my buddy Evan, he's over there at Mr. Nasty Time. He has a channel on YouTube. Yeah, Mr. Nasty Time. It's MR_NASTYTYYYME. He has very good content out on NFL. He does weekly power rankings, 1 through 32. Now he's talking more about the bottom half of the 32, like what they need to do to fix their rosters and what they can do going forward. And then the top half, he's explaining if they think they're going to make the playoffs or if they're going to regress in this last part of the season, and who he thinks is going to make it into the playoffs and whatnot. So definitely go out there and check out his channel. He does some UFC stuff as well, like choosing fights, like going through some cards, and he also does streaming for his PlayStation, for gaming. He does a lot of Modern Warfare 2, and he's been playing since it came out, the Warzone 2.0. I'll be on there playing with him as well. Content's always funny, and I mean, it'll crack you up what's being talked about. I'll tell you that right now. But last and finally, my hopefully future sponsor, New Belgium Voodoo Ranger. New Belgium makes a lot of beers, but the Voodoo Ranger part of it is great. They have a lot of samples from them. Check out Juice Force if you are interested in something like strong but still tasty. 9.5% and it tastes like a 6.5, 7% beer. So check them out. And definitely get, at least if you are an IPA fan, definitely check them out. You can get them at any like gas station or like Walmarts and stuff like that. Usually at a Fast Track, they're the cheapest, like $2.50 for a nice little 19-ounce can. But that's gonna be it. If you like my content, give me a like and subscribe. Got any feedback? Definitely. I try to put NFL news and some other stuff in there, so it's a little bit longer of a video and makes sense of why I'm picking certain things and what I'm talking about. But got any feedback for me? Negative, positive? Shoot me a comment as well. But that's gonna be it. Go Bills, and I'm out.